Hello guys, this is Alex from Keynnect, and we're back for another exciting presentation about the freight industry. If you're an owner-operator, you know this is one of the biggest calls you have to make. We're talking about your trailer. And it's not just a piece of equipment, right? It's a decision that hits your wallet, your freedom, and really the entire future of your business. So let's get into it and break down what this choice really means. So what's the play here? Do you rent, stay flexible, and keep that cash in your pocket? Or do you go all in and buy, building a real asset for your business? That's the core question, and we're going to tackle it head on. So in one corner, you've got renting. Think of it as the flexible option. It's your fastest way to get rolling with the least amount of commitment. And in the other corner, owning. That's the investment play. This is all about building equity and long-term value. Two completely different approaches to get to the same goal. Okay, let's kick things off where most of these big decisions start, with the money. Round one is all about the pure, hard numbers, the financial equation of renting versus owning. The first hurdle is always that upfront cost. With renting, the barrier to entry is super low. You're basically looking at a refundable deposit, which is great for preserving your cash flow. But owning, that's a whole different story. You're talking a big down payment or buying it straight up, and that's a serious chunk of capital that's now tied up in steel. Now, beyond that initial investment, you got to think about the monthly payments. When you rent, those fees are usually a bit higher, and they're a straight-up expense, just gone. But when you're buying, your loan payment is often lower than the rental fee. And here's the kicker. Every single one of those payments is building equity. You're not just paying a company, you're basically paying yourself. And check this out. This number, this is the kind of extra money an owner-operator can make per month just by bringing their own trailer to the job. Why? Because carriers and brokers will often pay you more per mile. That extra cash can seriously help cover your loan payment and then some. It's the earning power of ownership right there. So let's pull it all together on a financial scorecard. Renting, you get zero equity, but your rental fees are a nice, clean tax deduction. Owning, you're building a real asset on your balance sheet. Plus, you get some killer tax benefits like depreciation and writing off the interest. Bottom line, over the long haul, if you keep that trailer busy, the return on investment for owning almost always comes out on top. All right, so the money part is one thing, but what about the day-to-day grind? Let's jump into round two, the responsibility factor. This quote pretty much says it all, doesn't it? When that title is in your name, so is every flat tire, every busted light, and every bit of upkeep. This is the big trade-off you make for those financial perks. And the difference is huge. When you're renting, maintenance is usually just part of the deal. If something breaks, the rental company fixes it. They might even give you a substitute trailer so you don't lose time. But when you own it, you are the maintenance department. Every cost, every repair schedule, and every single minute of downtime, that's all on you. And hey, it's not just about getting your hands dirty. Owning comes with a mountain of paperwork. These are the soft costs. You're on the hook for everything: titling, registration, annual plate renewals, property taxes. You've got to make sure your DOT and FHW inspections are always up to date. And then when you want to sell it, guess what? You're now in the used trailer business. And this is exactly where renting is a lifesaver for a lot of folks. You're basically outsourcing all that administrative headache. The rental company is the one dealing with the DMV, the registrations, and all that compliance stuff. It frees you up to focus on the one thing that actually makes you money: hauling freight. Okay, we've hit the money and the responsibilities. Let's move to the final round, the strategic play. How does this choice affect your long-term business game plan? Look, in today's market, being agile is everything. Renting gives you that flexibility in spades. You can grab an extra trailer for a seasonal rush, you can try out a reefer for a new gig, or you can scale back if things get slow, all without being chained to a 5-year loan. Owning, on the other hand, is a commitment. It kind of locks you into one type of equipment. But there's another side to that coin. When you own your trailer, it is always there for you. You have total control. A hot load comes up at 2 a.m, no problem. You're ready to roll. When you're renting, you're at the mercy of the rental company's inventory. And trust me, when freight is surging, finding an available trailer can be a nightmare. Now, if you want to know how the pros play the long game, just look at this number. A whopping 93% of independent owner-operators own their trailers. That is not a fluke. It tells you that once a business is established and successful, the benefits of owning almost always win out. And this really nails the strategic value of renting. It is the perfect on-ramp. It lets a new operator get the business moving, build some customer relationships, and lock down consistent freight, all without taking on a ton of debt. Renting isn't the worst choice, it's a strategic tool for a specific stage of your business journey. Okay, we've walked through the financials, the responsibilities, and the big picture strategy. Now it's time to put it all together so you can make your final call. Here's a super simple 3-step framework to help you decide. First, just be real with yourself about your freight. Is it steady and consistent, or is it all over the place? Second, run the numbers for the long term. Are those rental fees eventually going to cost more than a loan? And third, how do you feel about the admin work? Are you ready for the maintenance and the paperwork? So here's the bottom line. Your specific situation points the way. If you're new, your cash flow is tight, or your freight is seasonal, renting is probably your smartest move. But if you're an established business with steady work and you really want to build long-term value, all signs are pointing toward ownership. So in the end, it really all boils down to this one question. Are you just looking for a temporary tool to get a job done right now? Or are you investing in a long-term asset that's going to be a core part of your business for years? Your answer to that question will tell you everything you need to know.